This video will help you with using proportions. So looking at question 1, a recipe calls for 1/2 cup of ingredient A for every 1 2/3 cups of ingredient B. You use 4 cups of ingredient A. How many cups of ingredient B do you need? So I would start by setting up my proportion. So 1/2 of cup A compared to 1 2/3 cups B is equal to, in my second ratio, I have to put A on top. So 4 cups of A, and I'm trying to find how many cups of B I need. So now we're down to trying to solve this proportion. One way you can solve the proportion is by using cross products. So I multiply 1/2 times x and set that equal to the other cross product, which is 1 2/3 times 4. Multiply it out, so it's 1/2 x equals.
Would Patrick Moreau please come to the main office? Patrick Moreau, to the main office, please. Thank you.
Multiplying 1 2/3 by 4, I get 6 2/3. And now my inverse, I would divide by 1/2. You can also multiply by 2, the reciprocal 1/2. And when you do that, you get 13 1/3. And now I would label it cups of mixed B. So cups of B. Looking at our next one, a carpenter uses 10 1/2 feet of cedar for every 6 1/3 feet of redwood for a construction project. If the carpenter uses 5 1/4 feet of cedar, how much redwood does she need? So setting up my proportion is 10 1/2 feet of cedar compared to 6 1/3 feet of redwood. I'm going to set that equal to 5 1/4 feet of cedar would go in the numerator, just to be consistent in how they're being compared, over x redwood. Now I can go ahead and solve it by doing my cross products. So 10 1/2 times x equals 6 1/3 times 5 1/4. Now I would multiply it out. 10 1/2 times x equals, using my fraction key, 6 1/3 times 5 1/4 gives me 33 1/4. Now I'm ready for my inverse. I would divide by 10 1/2. Use my fraction key to do the dividing. I get x equals 3 1/6. And then I would label it. That was feet of redwood. Looking at question 3. In a certain chemical, the ratio of zinc to copper is 4 to 17. A jar of chemical contains 561 grams of copper. How many grams of zinc does it contain? So writing my original ratio is 4 zinc over 17 copper equals, in my second ratio, I don't know how much zinc, so there's my x, compared to 561 copper. Now again, I can go ahead and solve it by doing cross products. So 4 times 561 equals 17 times x. Multiplying it out, it's 2,244 equals 17x. Doing my inverse now, divide by 17. I get x equals 132. And then label it.
Would Mr. Ertl please call the main office? Mr. Ertl, please call the main office. Thank you.
Looking at our next one, question 4. Anne's car can go 152 miles on 4 gallons of gas. During a drive last weekend, Anne used 5 gallons of gas. How far did she drive? So setting up my proportion. 152 miles over 4 gallons equals I'm trying to figure out how many miles for 5 gallons. Now I can do my cross products. 152 times 5 equals 4 times x. Multiply it out. So 760 equals 4x. Now do my inverse, divide by 4. I get x equals 190 miles. Looking at some proportions that don't have a context, in part A, we have k over 8 equals 14 over 4. You can solve this with cross products, or I can scale up by looking for a scale factor. In this case, I would multiply by 2. To find k, I would do 14 times 2, which is 28. If you don't like using scale factors, you can always do cross products. In part B, 8 over 12 equals 2 over b. If I look at this with cross products, I would multiply 8 by 1/4 to get to 2. So in the denominator to find b, I would multiply 12 by 1/4, and that gives us 3. Hope this video helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.